Hello, hello, Silver Clubbers. Welcome to our April Roundtable Talk call. We're so excited to have you on this call today. So, as we just let people hop on the call in the next minute or two, let's go ahead and have you guys put in the chat where you're calling in from. We love looking at where you guys are from, where you're calling in from, and just kind of see that diversity. Kansas City, Oklahoma, love it. Idaho, let's go Idaho, represent Mountain Region. Pennsylvania, California, way to go Pacific. Iowa, Oklahoma, British Columbia, we got some Canada in there. Very own Sandy, Utah, we love that, close to home. doTERRA home, I guess I should say. Florida, Alaska. We've got all sorts of people on this call, which is super exciting. Alrighty, feel free to keep putting in where you're calling in from right here. We're going to go ahead and get started though. So welcome again to our Silver Club Roundtable Talk for April. We're super excited to have you guys on this call today. As we go over just what the call is going to look like, we have a brief agenda. So first, we're just going to do a little bit of recognition for you guys because we know you're all working so hard and that we really appreciate everything that you do. So we really want to recognize you, some of you, for your hard work. After that, we're going to have one of our amazing business development directors introduce and talk about our product plugin for the day. And then he's going to introduce our two guest speakers, Sandra and Jody. And then at the end, we'll have a little bit of time for some Q&A. If you guys have any additional questions that don't get answered or anything like that, that is a great time to ask those questions. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and congratulate our leaders right now. Some recognition. We love recognition. So on this list, we have the top 5 leaders who earned the Chrome Bubble Diffuser from the 3x3 incentive. So if you remember, this incentive was you got to get 3 enrollments of 100 PV between April 1st and 17th, and they get 3 people on LRP from your March enrollments between April 1st and 17th. So these 5 leaders were able to do that, and they were the first ones who did that. So let's congratulate them as we go through the list. From Mountain Region, we have Tammy Wright. From Southeast Regions, we have Irina Collins. From Mountain Region again, we have Vicky Pio. From Canada Region, and I apologize if I don't pronounce your name right, we have Marie-Helene Rajote, I apologize. I don't know the name super well. And then from our North America Latina region, we have Elizabeth Texcaua. Thank you and congratulations, guys. You guys did amazing. Let's give you all a round of applause for this amazing work that you've done. And we do want to congratulate all of your leaders who were able to participate in this incentive and everybody who worked so hard at the beginning of this month. You guys all have done amazing things. So even if you're not on your list, go ahead and give yourselves a pat on the back and a round of applause for yourself just for working so hard that you guys have done just because of all the hard work you guys have done so far. We're really proud of all of you. So for everybody who has won this incentive, we will be sending an email out by April 26th. So you can expect to receive an email sometime letting you know what incentive you've won for the 3x3 incentive and where you fell. So with that, I'm going to turn the time over to our senior manager, Melanie, to introduce our business development director.
Hello, Silver Clubbers, all of our participants and mentors who are joining us on this beautiful Thursday. And I just want to touch on what Becca said. We are just so grateful to be with all of you today, but also this season. This has been such an incredible season so far, and we are just so grateful to be on this journey with you. And we are just so excited to see what continued success that you have throughout the remainder of the season and just the rest of the year as well. And so we want to give a big shout out to all of you who have worked so hard, not just during the month of March, but so far during this month of April. And I know you folks are out there doing incredible things, touching many lives. And we see you, we are grateful for you. And we just can't wait to continue again to see all of the amazing things that you do this season. And so now I get to introduce our business development director, Alan Michaelis, who, if you know Alan, he always has a big smile on his face. I love his positive energy, and I've been able to work closely with him as well. And Alan is just a wealth of knowledge. He has a lot of years with direct selling. And, anyways, he just loves on his leaders. He has the Central
Central.
region that I know is doing amazing things as well. And so Central region had a lot of rank advancements for Silver Club, Alan. So congrats to you and your region and all of our participants in that region as well. And so Alan, again, he's just been an amazing director to be able to link arms with this Silver Club season. And so we are grateful to have him on this call. And Alan, we're going to have you share some product spotlights, but do you want to share a fun fact about yourself with us today?
Oh, I appreciate that, Mel, and thanks for your very kind introduction. It's great to be with you and your team. Let's see, a fun fact. Oh my goodness, I have 5 children. I have 3 grandchildren, and they live too far away though. They live up in Washington. It drives my wife crazy. She just wishes they lived like right next door. But I love to go camping and hiking, and love being outdoors in the summer. So there's some fun facts about me. But thank you, Mel, for and the whole Silver Club, the whole Leader Programs team for these great programs. As you mentioned, Central Region, we had a lot of our Silver Club participants have some rank advancements last month, and there were lots across the whole country, of course, in the whole region. But I just love what Silver Club and Diamond Club, all of these leadership programs do for our business, and they give you guys such great things to talk about as you're going out and doing classes and enrolling and building your teams. And so I just love that we put this magic together and make it work. But I appreciate Becca giving me a chance to talk about one of my favorite products. It's hard to have just one, right? But I've got several, but I love LLV. And so it's really cool. I think that we could spotlight LLV today. It's just in fact, I've got my bottles right here too. I know they're up on the screen, but I've got my bottles right here. I keep bottles here at my desk, and I keep bottles in upstairs at home, and I keep bottles downstairs at home because to me it's very important to be sure I'm taking LLV twice a day. And in fact, we even had a health challenge about a year ago. Where employees could set a specific health goal and try to accomplishment, but you had to track your progress. And so I said, I love LLV, and I think I'm pretty good about taking it every day, but I'm going to make sure I take it twice a day. So I created a spreadsheet, and I actually logged whether or not I took LLV twice a day, just like I was supposed to. And so, of course, I did better, right? Because I was logging it. I realized that there were times when I probably wasn't taking it twice a day. So I felt great. I felt better as I was really consistent at taking LLV twice a day. But I love each of these. They're so powerful. With the V, oh, it's hard to see it there, isn't it? With the VMZ, you've got the Microplex, you've got all your vitamins, just great vitamins in there. And I love the Alpha CRS. Those antioxidants are so powerful for us, and we need all the cellular health we can get. And then the XC Omega, so important for our hearts and our immune function and for our brain function. So I just like to know that I'm starting my day and ending my day with just feeling better and giving my health all that it needs. In addition to the diffusing of the oils and all the other things we do, I just love I just love LLV. So I appreciate being able to spotlight and talk about that today. So, and it's impressive too. I was looking at some numbers the other day. It is so impressive how many of you are promoting LLV. It's like in our central region, I'm sure it's the same all over the country. It's like one of our top products on LRP each month. So good job on promoting LLV so well. All right. Well, I'm pleased to be able to introduce our first speaker today, Sandra Kahawai. Sandra is just so amazing because she has a lot of amazing things. And this isn't what she's going to talk about today, but let me tell you, when you go to convention and things run smooth, especially with like the breakout sessions, you can give Sandra a big thanks for that. She works behind the scenes and even on stage sometimes too to make sure our events are so successful and all the different pieces of it. But her day job is making sure that these great programs we have at DoTerra just run smooth. And we love Refer a Friend, and she contributes in so many different areas. But Sandra, thanks for being with us today, and we'll turn it over to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Alan and Mel and the whole leadership team. It's great to be with all of you Silver Clubbers today. And I have prepared something special. Some of this might look a little familiar if you are familiar with the Refer a Friend program, but I'm really going to focus my time with you today to talk a little bit about how you can leverage this tool strategically in your business, especially as you go through the Silver Club program over the next few months. So if you're not already familiar, Refer a Friend is an excellent tool, and it's meant particularly to help you in some key areas. It's meant to help you expand your reach, to find and vet new builders, and really to increase your impact, both in your local communities, in the homes and the families of those you connect with, as well as around the world as you continue to sell and promote our ethically sourced essential oils. Now, with that in mind, the program itself does have some key specific benefits. And again, if this is a reminder for some of you, great. But we found that repetition is really helpful, because whether this information is familiar or new, this is just an overview of something that you can do a deep dive on later. And we've seen this tool really benefit a lot of leaders' businesses. And so when it comes down to benefits for engaging in the Refer a Friend program, we like to just remind people that there's benefits for everyone. And what that looks like is for your referring customers. So those who you hold personal enrollership of, those customers, when they share with others, they're able to earn doTERRA dollars, which we know can be applied to anything on their order: taxes, shipping, product, renewal, anything. The friends that they introduce to doTERRA through their referral link, they get their first year of doTERRA membership at no cost, absolutely free with any purchase. That purchase can be a purchase of product. It could be a non-PV item. There's no limitations. It could be a Healing Hands donation, right? Anything they purchase will allow them to tap into and unlock 25% off all products for a whole year with doTERRA. You, as the enroller of the wholesale customer, get some key unique benefits as well. You gain enrollership of these new incoming members, and that means you can put them anywhere on their team where they will be best supported. They don't have to just stay by the referring customer or on that same team and area. If that makes sense, keep them there. But if not, you have a ton of flexibility in moving them to where it makes the most sense. You also get fast start on all of these new incoming folks. And then it also, a key benefit that I don't think gets talked about enough is leaders have said that they started to use this as a great tool for just vetting potential builders. You have some people who are just share naturally because they love to share, and then others who might need a little bit more support, but regardless of where they're at, you can start to see and identify different trends among their actions that can allow you to follow up and have really targeted conversations at key times with the right people to say, hey, I noticed you've shared your Refer a Friend link, and it looks like you've introduced 12 new people into, doTERRA, and they're purchasing very actively every month. Have you considered doing this more full time, right? Or to do it to supplement your income? So again, different conversations you can have there. We talk a lot about Refer a Friend being a great tool for sharing. And so just to highlight what that looks like, again, you can help your customers share products, share their personal story. You can help them share the story of impact, whether it's co-impact sourcing or how doTERRA has made a difference to them personally in their life. As you do that and they introduce others to doTERRA, they are able to share their journey of wellness, their, products that they've gotten introduced to because of the opportunity to connect with doTERRA, and just the how this opens it up to new possibilities, right? Things that people didn't know were possible before, they're able to find natural solutions to through doTERRA products. And you in turn share your time, you share support, you share resources, right? Education is important part of this process, because we are interested in getting these people introduced to doTERRA and helping them continue on their wellness journeys. And we know that it will be a journey. So we're looking at them beyond their first order, right? Beyond enrollment, but really helping them engage and connect with the right information at the right time to get the right support. So this is a high-level overview. Next, we're going to talk about resources. So if you don't know about these resources, these are the top 3 resources I'd point you to for everything Refer a Friend. So the first thing is, if you don't already know the shortcut, write it down, make a note of it, put it in a notes app on your phone, wherever you need to keep it for easy access. referral.doterra.me/member ID number. If you ever have a customer that says, I have a friend, I know that there's some way I can share with them to get them a discount. What is that again? If you can look up their member ID number, then you can text them their link that they can then share with their friends. I know a lot of leaders who, as a hack, actually text out that link to their customers, or at a customer appreciation event or a continuing ed event, will just at the end say, hey, if you want your link, come up to me. It's also very visible in their account, but if you have customers that need a little extra support, you can send it to them. You can ask them to save it in a notes app so that they can always have easy access to it. The second resource is in your back office. There is a Refer a Friend participation report. It is updated regularly. So when you go into the report, you'll be able to see whether it's a customer you've been working with and educated about Refer a Friend, or somebody who just takes the initiative on their own. You'll be able to see all the customers coming in your downline, all the customers referring, and the new customers they're bringing in, right? That's what the report will show you. And this will give you a great opportunity if for some reason somebody signs up and you didn't even know about them, right? You didn't connect with them, you didn't invite them, but they are now enrolled and it was from a customer who you personally enrolled. You have enrollership of that person, and you can now have the opportunity to follow up with that new enrollee who came in through Refer a Friend and say, hey, I'd love to get you set up with a wellness consult. I'd love to get you more free education. And through that, you can help them get signed up for LRP. And we know right now, right, there's an opportunity for you when you get someone signed up on LRP, you can earn points in the Silver Club program through that. You can also earn points for incentive trip if you're going for the incentive trip. And in turn, through Silver Club, you can also get that new member some LRP points to redeem towards product in the future. So again, there's tons of benefits. And if you're not quite sure how to see those people, you can look at your participation report and then work with your upline, right? Cross team members, others to help you kind of navigate those things as you have questions, and the program managers with the leadership programs team. The last thing I'll point you to is if you go to doterra.com/DMK, you can search for Refer a Friend specifically there. There's a ton of resources in a folder. There's also a training specific folder. And so we've gotten a lot of requests for training, either because it's been a long time, or you might have new members joining your team who didn't know about this when it first launched and they want to know about it now. So what you can do is there is a training that we've uploaded that you have access to all the time. It's in PowerPoint format, so you can present the PowerPoint yourself, or you can just pull it up and kind of press play and let it play and educate you, yourself, your team, get a refresh on it, whatever you need to. If you scan the QR code, this will actually take you to the specific folder, but the doterra.com/DMK, that'll just take you to the digital marketing kit where you can search for the right folder. And this is how we provided the training. I just want to go over this as a quick tip. So there's two different training decks. One is a little bit more introductory, and the other one is like, okay, now that you have people, what do you do to follow up, and what are some messaging strategies, and what are some other ways you can get them to go from knowing about Refer a Friend to acting on Refer a Friend. So that's really the difference between the two PowerPoints that are in there. But on specific slides, you'll see a sound icon in the bottom right-hand corner. And if you click on that, it'll just play a brief summary of that specific page and content. What we didn't want you to have to do is necessarily sit through like a 50 to 60-minute training, right? And jump around different parts in the clip and be like, what is the part that just talks about doTERRA dollars? I just need somebody to remind me how placements works, right? And so here you can jump to a specific slide and then just play the audio for that specific slide to get the information you need. There will be a few slides that don't have any audio on it, like the objectives slide, because it's basically just a restatement of the objectives. And so hopefully all the information is there and it's quickly accessible. And you can, get the refresh that you might need and share that and spread that among your team. Finally, to kind of just go over some quick strategies, we've been doing a lot of learning to find out how leaders are currently using this that are being very successful. And some of our top performing leaders who are doing really well with Refer a Friend are averaging anywhere from, I don't want to give too broad of a scope, but maybe 6 to 10 enrollments a month through Refer a Friend. Again, those are at the highest end of the spectrum, right? And these leaders are actively educating their customers. They're not just sending them an email and saying, here's your Refer a Friend link, go share it with your friends. Okay, great, right? And then waiting for them to see if they do something with it. They are actively engaged. What does that mean? They're talking with everyone about it. Did you know that there is a way that you can get your friends and family discounts on doTERRA products? Who do you know who could benefit from some of these natural solutions that we've talked about? Even the phrasing of the question, right? They don't say, do you know somebody Is there somebody you can think of that might be able to, right? And everybody has their own way of doing it. But assume everyone knows someone, right? We all know people, whether our family, friends, close connections, somebody who has a need, right? And we know that doTERRA offers lots of solutions for a variety of needs. And so they're very proactive in reaching out to their customers. They are practicing repetition. So they bring it up in continuing education, in wellness consults, in quarterly events that they might do to appreciate their customers. They're also taking the extra initiative to go that extra step and say, who do you know? Okay, when might you be able to connect me with that person? Do we all want to get together for a meal one day? Do we want to meet at your house? Do you want to just send me their number and I can contact them and say, hey, I was just chatting with Alan. He thought of you. We were talking about this and he mentioned you have this specific need or your child has this specific need. Would you be open to hearing more about some natural solutions that could get you a great discount and all the things, right? There's more that you could provide, but they're getting very hands-on. And once that customer has a good first positive experience, then they say, hey, that was actually pretty easy. I gave you Alan's information. You contacted him. It sounds like he signed up and he's really excited to try the oils and the products. I actually thought of somebody else. Could I give you their name too, right? It helps you to build trust with your customers and just kind of duplicate that cycle. The second thing is just in your messaging to be personalized, right? Again, you could mass message everybody. We could mass message everybody, but we know that that doesn't necessarily lead to action and activity. So be very specific about what you can offer, about what's in it for them. Remind wholesale customers about the value of doTERRA dollars, how they're different from points, right? You don't need to pay a redemption fee. There's no exclusions on anything. They can earn up to 599 doTERRA dollars in the US annually, and it resets every January. They can give that gift of membership. Wouldn't it be great if somebody says, hey, don't take my word for it. Try doTERRA products for yourself. 25% off anything you want to try. And at the end of that year, you can decide, was that, membership valuable to me? Did I find some solutions that are really helpful for me and my family and my needs? If so, right, then it's a no-brainer to kind of renew and get them on the right track and the path with that. The final piece is just around inviting others to take specific action. I know it's sometimes maybe, I don't want to say our habit, or we could just say, hey, so let me know if you think of anyone, right? Like how often do we just kind of throw something out there and be like, hey, so I told you about refer a friend, use it, go do it. Let me know if you think of somebody. But you can be very specific in a way that leads to action. I really want to help you earn doTERRA dollars. Or I know you're really interested in getting these products, and there's a way that you can do that at a discount as you earn doTERRA dollars. And one way to do that is by referring friends. And that can be really simple and not, too scary or crazy. They don't have to worry about the rejection side of it. I know that's something that you personally take on, right? As you approach people and invite them to try some of doTERRA products. But it could be as simple as, who do you know, right? That's literally them referring one-to-one, refer a friend. You could say, hey, you have a great story about Deep Blue and how that's really helped you. Are there others who else can you think of that could benefit from hearing this story? Would you be willing to invite them over to your house? Or when can you host something at your house or at my house for them to come and learn more, or virtually, right? But you can partner with them to teach one-on-one. You can partner with them to teach a group of people. And then always be consistent in your follow-up. If you give an invitation and they don't follow through, that's okay. Sometimes people won't. And it's important that we help them still feel valued and appreciated for the effort they did, or change the goal, right? Looks like you didn't think of anyone, or looks like you were planning to connect me with Alan, but maybe you've lost touch. You don't have a current contact, number for him. Who else do you know, right? Might there be someone else? Who else do you know that I could help instead? Sounds like this date isn't going to work anymore. That's totally fine. I know life gets busy, right? Kind of empathize, sympathize with them and say, so when would be a good time, right? I think sometimes we'll be like, okay, well, we'll just let them off the hook. And all of this, as I say all of these things, you're probably thinking, yeah, but Sandra, that doesn't work all the time. Or sometimes, right, people don't want to engage, and that's fine. So as an added layer to all of this, just keep in mind that you are going to have to adapt your approach for each individual, right? Because everyone's so unique and different. So make sure you are sensitive to those things, that you're not pushing at a time that maybe they are really stressed and overwhelmed. And it's just not a good time for them to engage with this. That's fine. You can always just leave it there. But the point is, you still have the opportunity to follow up. And whether that's in a week or a month or several months, right? Don't let that opportunity to follow up slip by, because you never know when somebody might be ready to share and when they could use some support to share, and when this will be the perfect tool for them to engage with in that. So we just wanted to share some of those insights on Refer a Friend. I noticed one question in the chat that I'll take a moment to address now, and then I believe we'll have time for questions later. But the question is, when we use our link generator with our Silver Club code, how do we include a Refer a Friend link too? Great question, Amy. That is something that our IT team has been actively working on for several months, and that feature is not yet available. So if a customer wants to refer a friend and get doTERRA dollars for it, then currently what they'll have to do is send them the Refer a Friend link, which we know adds a little bit more work on your side because you'll have to help them build their cart, or right, you'll have to just make sure that they have the support they need to build their cart. And then they'll check out, right? And that'll all be fine. I will just say as a, so yes, so that is a feature that we've gotten a request for, that we are working on, because we do want to make that a better experience and a better process. So there's a couple ways we're looking at doing it in our system, and we're just trying to figure out what might be the fastest, best way to do it. If you ever run into instances where the link does not work, we would love to hear about that, just because we have a team that we've kind of dedicated to escalated situations. We don't want these tools to break on you. We don't want it to be disruptive to your work. So Felicia, if you do have specific examples of error messages you're getting or things that aren't working, screenshots that you either share back with the leader programs team can then be passed on to me, and we can make sure that IT gets those reports so that we can resolve anything that might be happening. I think I just saw somebody else. Add the incentives codes to the referral link. Yes, it would be nice if there was a way to kind of bundle those two things together. And while there isn't right now, let us know if you have thoughts on how that could work. Because if they follow a Refer a Friend link, put something in their cart, and then add the promo code, it'll still work. They can use Refer a Friend and promo codes together. And there's no limit on the number of promo codes that they can add. So that's one good news message. But yeah, there is always customers who forget, for sure. So we are working on ways to make it easier, so, and also make it so that you have the tools you need to be proactive in the situation, right? So that you can preload a link even for a customer and add promo codes and do all those things. Great question. Do doTERRA dollars expire? doTERRA dollars, so this is the interesting thing. Based on market laws and regulations, in the US, doTERRA dollars expire after a year, similar to points. And then in Canada, similar to points, doTERRA dollars do not expire because legally we're not allowed to expire them. So little difference across markets. But I'll continue to watch the chat. If you do have any other questions, I can respond there. Thanks so much for the time today. Hopefully this was a helpful refresh, update on some resources, and then some strategies for success as well. So thanks for
Oh, that
having
was
me.
fantastic, Sandra. That was super. Thanks for sharing. And this program fits so well with Silver Club and everything you guys are doing, holding classes and being able to refer. And of course, anyone who one of your customers refers to Refer a Friend enrolls, they're in your enrollment. So that's really cool too. So anyway, we are so excited to be able to have Jody with us to speak to us today too. Jody Hoffman is a diamond leader from South Dakota. And she is just one of my favorite people. We love her in the Central region. She gives great presentations and great trainings. In fact, this is kind of a encore performance a little bit. Becca and I were with her a few weeks ago, and she did such a great job. We wanted to bring her back. So, Jody, we'll turn it over to you.
Hello, everybody. I am so excited to be here and excited to share this information again. This is one of my favorite things to talk about. So hopefully if you heard it before on the central call, and then you'll be like, oh yes, that information. And if you haven't, then here you go. So I'm going to share my screen if that's okay. I think I can, right? Maybe? Yeah, I can. Look at that. Okay. Okay, I always want to start everything I ever say by telling you that if what you're doing is working, please don't change it. Okay, there are a million different ways to do doTERRA, and your job is to figure out what works for you. What works for us is pajamas. We just like to do everything from home, and we have figured out how to do almost everything online with success. So that is our jam. That's how we do it. So whatever's working for you, you should do that. If it's not, this is something to try. So we actually did in person. We did Diamond Club in person 3 times. Before the pandemic, we did it 3 different times, and we were we actually hit Diamond in October on my 26th in-person class of the month in the 8th state that I had visited that month. And that was great and that was fun. But right now I'm like, you know what? I don't want to do that anymore. Okay, so we're done driving all over the country and we are at home, and we like to work from home. And so doing things online was a really great option for us. So we want to share a little bit about that. I always want to tell you, like, who is this girl and why did she get to tell us about online workshops? Let me tell you who I am. My background is adult education and how the brain works. And I have a specific focus on attentional struggles, especially for women, especially since the pandemic. So what I understand is, how can I capture someone's attention and keep it long enough to get them to do the thing that they need to do, right? So we've been successful at leading our team to have hundreds of online workshops with tons of enrollments over the last couple of years. So we're excited to share what we know about that. All right. So let's get right into it. Here are some keys to successful online workshops. First of all, we love presenting in a group. So we use Facebook because most of our target audience is on Facebook. And so we know there's an option between using a group or using an event. We use a group because you can schedule. We use a group because you can add people to it after the fact and they can review that information. And we also use a group because we love to have all of our people organized. So if I have one person who hosted a class and all her people are in one spot, then I can come back to that group at any point and be like, oh, remember we were talking about sleep? Well, this thing is on sale or out of stock. Or I can come back and be like, I wouldn't say that. Remember we were talking about metabolism? Well, this thing is part of a new package called the Power Pack. So, so we can come back to them because they've already expressed an interest in this one, in this thing. So keeping it in a group really, really works for us. Another thing is we like to focus on one topic at a time. I know that the normal thing to do is like, here, let's talk about our top 10 oils, or let's talk about everything. And we absolutely have had success with that. But right now, what we're noticing is that people are really interested in hearing about one thing at a time. When we do that, it helps people to say, okay, would you like to come learn with me? I'm going to go to a sleep workshop. I'm going to go to an anxious feelings workshop. I'm going to go to a workshop about managing discomfort. Okay. And that way people are more open to the idea that they're going to go learn about this one thing. And it's sort of an attention getter, and it keeps them focused. They know, okay, I really need help with this one thing. So let me go pay attention to this content, this information. So that works really well. Another really important key is to use cohesive, organized, engaging content. So when you are working in a group with this workshop, you really want to help form connections in the brain. So we always talk about, at the beginning, we put up a slide that says, here's what to expect during this workshop. And we let people know this is what's happening over the next 3 or 4 days so that they know exactly what to expect and how they can find it. We also use the same color scheme or pattern on each image, which helps to relate. There's a special thing that happens in your brain when you get a new piece of information where you try to connect it to something that you already know, and that's how you hold on to it. It's almost like it's looking for the right file folder in your brain. And when you can do that, you can do it with the information on the slide, or you can do it with the actual slide. They connect because the slides look the same. It helps them to find that filing cabinet for it in their brain, which is kind of cool. So also every post that we put in there has a question, and we try to make it really clear how they're supposed to interact with that question. So really simple things that they can come back to and be like, oh, this is what I want to say about this, or this is how I would answer this question, right? So for example, if you were teaching a stress class, you might say something like, tell me the thing that stresses you out the most, right? So things that are easy to answer that people will want to talk about. We also often add giveaways to those question post. So we do like, all right, we're going to do a drawing tonight for everybody who comments on anything today. And that really revs up the engagement, which boosts the Facebook algorithm to make people see your content even more. So those are the kinds of things that we do inside those workshops. We also want to really incorporate that live interaction. So you can just post the things, but if we really want to make a connection, we really want to have that amazing chance for LRP, and we really want to build a rapport with our customers, and we want it to count for Silver Club, then we need to have a live interaction. So we can do a live, you can do a Facebook Live, you can do a Zoom, you can also stream your Zooms into your Facebook, or you can record them and post them into your Facebook group, and that works really well. So in that live, we often just say the same things that we said in our posts, because what we've learned and what we understand is that when someone sees information and then they hear the same information, they do not think, oh my gosh, she's just saying the same thing over and over again. They think, huh, I've heard that somewhere before, and it works wonders. Okay, so we love that idea. So we also want to make sure that we are getting people asking questions. So presenting them with that same information over and over gives them a better chance of synthesizing it and a better chance of having enough information to be able to ask you questions. And then we have to get to private messaging. The biggest mistake you can make in an online workshop is just posting all the stuff and then posting a link and walking away. It's not going to work that way. You have to get to the private messages. So in our workshops, we're giving them all the information, but we're really closing, like we post the close, it's there, okay? But where we're really closing, we're really helping people to get those customer accounts set up. We're doing that in the private messages. So I send 2 messages. This is the first one right at the beginning. I say, thanks for joining whoever's sleep workshop. I'm here to answer your questions. Make sure you get entered for our first giveaway. And then they would say, how do I get entered for the giveaway? And I say, oh, just go to the page and comment on any of today's posts. So you get, again, we're giving them a little information, letting them ask a question. And then, of course, I'd interact with them the whole time if they're asking questions or we're talking about whatever. At the end, I'm so glad I got to meet you at this person's metabolism workshop. What was your favorite part? So that question right there, save that question in your brain. You can use it for anything. It's a really great intro to a conversation about whatever they've just attended. What was your favorite part works better than what questions do you have? Or, what do you think? It's a more specific thing, and it gets them to focus on something that they enjoyed. So, and it gives you a little bit of insight into what they are thinking about where to go. My next question after that would be, what do you see as your next steps? Right? And sometimes they'll be like, what are my choices? And you can give them choices at that point. So those are our private messages that we send. Let's talk about hostesses. So we love to work with a host. So if you have your circle of influence is however many tens or hundreds or thousands of people that you know or you can connect with. But as soon as you bring a host into the equation, all of a sudden you have her whole audience as well. And so it's just a really, really great way to open up your warm market. But it's also really, really cool because of how people respond to certain questions. So I want you to imagine that I have a shop downtown, a brick and mortar shop downtown. And I say to you, hey, do you want to come to my store that I just opened? You feel pressure immediately. You cannot come to my store without buying something, right? You're my friend. You're not coming. You're going to buy something. And so you would wait to go to that store until you were ready to purchase. You might have certain feelings as you were walking in the door. You would also be walking in the door in a sales mode, right? Thinking about, okay, how am I going to get out of this for the least number of dollars or whatever? If a store opened up downtown that I did not own, and I said, hey, do you want to go to this store with me? I heard it was really cool. Your whole frame of mind is completely different. You are not in a sales mode. You are much more likely to spend money, and you're going in thinking, this is going to be really cool. We're going to do this together. I'm going to find something that would be neat, right? You have no pressure, and your brain's in a different place. When your brain is in that place, you are more likely to respond positively to what's happening. So the difference between me saying, hello, I am hosting a metabolism workshop, and Alan saying, hey, I'm going to a metabolism workshop. My friend Jody's teaching it. Do you want to come with me? completely different. So it impacts the way people respond and how they enter your class. So using a host is an amazing way to get people in that right frame of mind before they're coming. Oh, my friend thinks this is a good idea. I should go as well, right? So come learn with me instead of come buy from me. So now let's talk about quickly how to spot an influential host. Hopefully someone's going to like wave a red flag if I'm out of time. I'm going as fast as I can. So I want you to think about, who do you know who's influential? What do I mean by that? When we talk about influence, a lot of times we're thinking about that person who's like out there taking selfies all the time or whatever. That's not what we mean. What I mean is, who do you know that other people listen to? Okay, so who is the person that you know that when they post something to Facebook, other people comment on it, right? They're doing the hula hoop ring thing. Suddenly everybody needs a hula hoop ring, right? Or they're the person who pulls up to school in a specific car. Everybody else wants the same exact car. That person is influential. People want to do what they're doing. They want to talk about what they're talking about. Those are going to be your best hosts. I don't care if they have never bought oils from you before. It doesn't matter. A host is an influential host is somebody who other people listen to. When you reach out to them, you can be as easy and simple and chill as possible. I reach out and I say, so my newest silver, she had silver last week. She started because she was a host. She was not a retail customer, or she was not a wholesale customer yet. And I said, hey, I have this really great sleep workshop coming up, and I was wondering if you would like to host it. I did it during Justin Harrison's tech splits at convention, and she said, sure, in like 5 seconds. And that was it. She hosted a class, when eventually turned into a builder, and here we are. So we love the host option, and we love just being super simple when you reach out to them. Coincidentally, this is her post.
We're at about 2 minutes, Jody. So just so you're pacing yourself, about two more minutes. Thank you.
I'm almost done. So then this is the post that she made to invite people. She posted her Serenity products, and she said, this is my experience. I'm going to learn more. Come learn with me. And people very much responded to that and hopped into her class. So the most important thing also I want you to remember is to have a ton of fun with this. Online workshops can be as exciting as you want them to be and as engaging as you want them to be as well. So we really love that option. And we also use the Refer a Friend program when we have those online options. When you have a host, that's another great reason to use a host. We have her Refer a Friend that we're posting everywhere, and people can go through it with them as well. So that ties into your Refer a Friend talk. We love that so much. It's a really great way to work with a hostess online or in person. So there you go. I did it. 2 minutes.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jody. I know we gave you a little bit of a time crunch there, but we wanted to give a couple of minutes left for just one or two people who had asked some questions. First, we had someone ask a question, is if your online workshops would work well with online vendor events.
So actually, I just heard from someone yesterday who used the same workshops that I used to get 51 enrollments at online vendor events. And I was like, holy cow. But absolutely, they're a great thing for an online vendor event because you want to have the same things, that cohesive font, the same picture everywhere. So using that kind of workshop in an online format is good. You still have to do all the follow-up. You have to get people into private messages. That is the number one thing.
Awesome. Alrighty. And then just maybe one or two more questions. Let's see. So somebody just asked, Jessica just asked, just like, as you're making your Facebook groups, do you make a new group for each hostess, or do you have one group with all of your workshops and then new hostesses all the time?
Great question. Great question. I do make a new group for each hostess. I know that means I'm in 52,000 groups. It doesn't bother me. It's not like I have to pay attention to them out all the time, but here's why. First of all, the Facebook algorithm prefers new groups. And so it's going to spit out that content more freely to something that's happening in a new group. So I like to set up my workshops. I create them the day before I'm going to start content. I have my hostess invite her people the next day. We go very, very quickly because Facebook does prioritize that in the algorithm. So we really love that plan. The other thing is that sometimes your hostess turns into a builder. So that group that you've created, it can turn into her VIP group. So we often will say at the end of a workshop, we'll be like, hey, what do you guys want to learn next? You already learned about sleep. Do you want metabolism? Do you want anxious feelings? What do you need? They'll pick their next topic. And now she's on her way. This hostess turns around, she hosts her own workshop in there. And now she's going to go ahead and move forward and turn that into her VIP group. So we love a new group for every person. And I think 87,000 is the number of groups I'm in, but that's okay.
Wonderful. I know we have a lot of other questions and we're so sorry. We are running a little bit out of time. We have another call that's being hosted and they need to like get on and prepare for it in just a couple of minutes. So thank you to everybody. We know we couldn't get to all of your questions. We're so sorry. We couldn't get to all of your questions. This call was recorded and we will be sending out a recording. So if there's anything that you missed, an answer to your question that we missed or something, or that you missed as we were talking about it, you can go through and re-review all of this call recording and just kind of see through it. And in addition, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to your project manager as well, and we would be happy to see if we can help you. So one last thing as we get ready to say goodbye to everybody, we just want to make sure you guys are saving the date for our next Silver Club calls. So we do have a little bit of a last minute multi-region call with Nicole Almeida tomorrow at 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So it's tomorrow, April 19th. This is going to be a really great call. You're welcome to join it. And she's going to have some really great insights if you guys would like to join that call. I believe we've sent out some information about it already this week. And so feel free to like check through on the team app and on your emails, see if you can find that email. In addition, for our mentors specifically, we'll be holding an exclusive mentor call on Tuesday, April 23rd at 11:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. We had sent an email at the beginning that all of our mentor calls would be 11. This one had to be pushed back a little bit. So this one's going to be at 11:30 a.m. We will also be sending out an announcement about this as well to all of the Silver Club mentors. So if you're just a participant, you do not need to be on this call. Just our mentors need to be on this, or we welcome our mentors to be on this call. We'll have an amazing guest speaker for them. We're super excited about this, guys. We know that you guys are working super, super hard, and we know that we appreciate all the things that you guys are doing. So we appreciate our amazing guest speakers and the time that you all took to present to us and the people who came on this call to listen to you. Now let's go ahead and take all this information that you guys learned and implement it for the rest of the season, the rest of this month. So we hope you have a great day and we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Thanks, Jody and Sandra. Good, buddy. Bye.
Everyone, bye.